Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to Joseph Academy. Today we'll have our second to last, meaning the ninth class, and this one will be about chasing. As we all know, Joseph is not the best at chasing. He's not a chase hunter, so I will try to collect all the tips and little tricks I found out along my way of maining him. So hopefully it will help you, and maybe you will have more successful wins or like more successful matches in the future. So let's get straight to it. We'll watch a match that had a few moments where I had to like chase someone, and I will explain it in the meantime. So typically we only talk about chasing after we unlocked the second presence skill, meaning time jump, as I already have a separate video done about that one if you're interested in the multiple uses it has, so you can go check it out. It's part of the Joseph Academy as well. But before that, Joseph does not really have anything, maybe only his like a bit larger than usual hitbox. And to down someone before you unlock the second skill, it's basically only possible if you are very lucky, meaning you catch the survivor off guard, or maybe like they slow vault in front of you so you can terror shock them, and so on and so on. We all know these situations. But other than that, downing a survivor without any of your skills in use either takes a lot of time, or it takes the survivor not to be the best kiter. And as we know, as you go up and up the ranks, and then you go rank again and again, you will meet more skilled survivors, survivors who know how to use their skills better and more beneficial to them. So it's pretty hard to even like try to catch someone. Obviously, if in lower tiers, it's easier even without like any trait and skill and persona. It's kind of easier to down someone, but pre-match with like higher tiers, or even in the middle tiers, it's very difficult to down someone only with your base kit you have on JoJo. Especially when survivors have so insane skills, and not like one or two of them, like a lot of them have so many skills that help them kite against like the best kiter hunters, like the best hunters who have the best chase. That's what I mean. So like imagine if a survivor has a strong skill that's enough to make them a match against like the meta chaser hunter. It's not necessarily the meta hunter, but maybe someone who's really good at chase. Then how like a hunter who is not really good at chase has a chance at even like getting one hit off of them. So this is why it's a difficult situation with JoJo and Chase. And obviously, for example, you can take Entomologist's little bug thing, you can hit it and you can get rid of it, but by the time you get rid of that and you have a chance to actually like hit the survivor like themselves, then the match will be already at like, you know, towards its end, because for the survivors to get rid of all of their skills that help them kite, some of them even have like unlimited ones, such as like for example Norton, whose magnets recharge over time, or Little Girl, whose pages recharge over time. But some survivors have items such as maybe Gravekeeper, who can you know, finish his shawl, or Mercenary, he can like use all his elbow pads and then he's out basically. So there are survivors, but even then, like getting to that point where they can't really use their skill anymore, it takes a lot of time. So that's why mostly with JoJo we rely on either camera word, which we should obviously, so don't really care about survivors who just say in post-match like he only managed to down me because of camera word or like something like that, because that's how our hunter is, like that's how our main is, like we would have no freaking chance if we didn't rely on camera word. So just don't be scared to use camera word, don't be scared to rely on it, even like especially when there are like hard to catch characters, because that's the only way you will actually have a chance, like a maybe equal chance, if I can say that, against them. So don't be scared to rely on camera word to maybe like even hit them or cheer them in camera word and then follow up in real word, because that's when we have the chance. But about the chasing part, like exactly. So what we can work with here, obviously after unlocking the second skill is the second skill. That's one. Second is his pretty nice hitbox, which is, well, it's not like some magical thing. It goes through survivors, at least for a lot of people I heard from, and for myself. For example, when a survivor is vaulting and you just hit, like the sword literally goes through them, but they get out without any hits. So that's, I don't know if that's on purpose, I don't know if that's a ping thing, or it's just like a bug. I have really no idea. But anyway, so we have our hitbox, which is, well, most hunters have a smaller hitbox, or like not this wide range. I think Jojo's hitbox would be like so perfect if he had like a slightly better chase maybe, or some little buff he would get, then he would be such a perfect hunter. But anyway, so that's what we have. And of course photo word, which usually means that you will only have to hit the survivor once, because other hunters have to like get 2 full hits off for them to down them. But for us, we usually manage to have them all one hit in photo word, so we'll only have to follow up with one single hit, which is kind of an advantage. Of course, this is not always the case, but that's also something that helps us. So we have to like consider all these. And then we can have our persona altered. I also have separate videos about the persona and the traits. So you can check that out if you're not sure what to build or what to use for your personal experience. As you can see, and as you know, I do use teleport, which does not have with chase at all. So if you want to have with chase, you can maybe use blink or patroller. These two are very good, a little help if you have a trouble with that. But it of course depending on how you play him, what's your strategy with him is. So I'll soon show you a little clip on the most beneficial use of the second skill, especially, of course, this mind gaming is coming into play as well. So let's say that little clip. As you can see, I use my second skill and then get back to where he ran out, and then I managed to hit him. This obviously does rely on game sense, because you have to have experience on when survivors go. But sadly, this second skill, as I don't know if you played Josephila, I'm sure you know that you tap this button, you get out of the little card trick, and there is a little animation, which I feel like is basically what makes it so, but not that good to use in chase. Even if people say like that's his chase ability or that's supposed to have the chase, I don't feel like that's the case. It of course can help, as you could see in that little clip. It can be very useful, especially when there is a larger area. But as I said, this animation is enough time for the survivors. Why Jojo you can't do anything because he's in that card animation. It's like a few seconds, like it's really just a very few, like maybe 1 or 2 seconds. But that's exactly enough time for the survivor to move away from that pallet where you could terror shock them, or move away from that window. So this basically is better for, like, I feel like larger distances. So if you're just like around one little area, then by the time you let go of the little skill, then that little skill will, like, the survivor, by the time you get out of that animation, the survivor will already be back at the previous pallet you were at, for example. So that's why I feel like this is more of a, like at factory or like buildings, when there is like a wall and a window, and it's like a larger area, a bit larger than maybe like this area right now where I am, where like there's only one pallet. Because as you can see, and as you could experience yourself, getting out of that little animation is really just enough time for the survivors to get away. Like, that's the hard truth. I know, maybe you expected some little magic trick that will help you chase, but no, listen, Jojo is not a chase hunter. You have to rely on photo word, and to follow up you either need luck or mind games. Mind gaming is basically you just have to go around that pallet. Maybe sometimes that's why you see me a few times, as right now I do take these pallet hits, because I have a chance to down the survivor on the other side. And that's why we have to like kind of risk these. We kind of have to just take that risk for real, because that's the only way we can like actually use it. If we don't carry blink or patroller, that would help us with chase. I did mention my opinion on blink and the other traits in the trait video on why I don't use that particular method, so you can go watch that if you're curious about that. But yeah, that's why I think it's really just what's important. As you can see here, I managed to get rid of soon of her little worms or like bugs. And see, this is just like they are so far away, like you can't really do anything until you get rid of the bugs, which I did right now. And even then, they just jump out windows, they have those boosts. And as you can see, it's like chasing takes so much time, especially in this when they can just decode one cipher in like, I don't know, about a minute. It's like impossible to just chase with Joseph without the photo word. So like as you can see, by the time she makes it there, she's so much faster than me. This of course slightly a bit better for you if you have green ping, but still like you really have to just wait for that, like wait when to press the hit button. You can't be just rushing, because you have to be patient. And when you like know, you have to experience yourself. If you're a new player and you're not used to JoJo's hitbox yet, you have to experience yourself how far it goes, so you can use it and you can press the hit button actually, so you won't miss when you're actually close enough to the survivor. I feel like the most important thing with Chase and him is basically not to let yourself get into chasing too much. Like if you know, like you see you can't really follow up a person, then just take a photo. That's the best tip I can give you, other than the ones I already mentioned. One last thing, here you can see me standing in a pallet, and basically what you have to pay attention to, especially also you can see this when I'm survivor, is it only stuns if the hunter's feet, like their shoes or their feet, are inside the pallet's line. So that's how you can see it. Maybe pay attention, check this in quick match, so how far you can stop from the pallet, and that will help you not to get stunned. One last thing is you will see the lucky guy going to this kiting area, and basically it sometimes helps if you just go back and forth, as you can see me doing it now, between a pallet. This is mind gaming, it can get you usually a hit, so that's the last thing I could mention. Hope you guys enjoyed this little class. I will be back with the last one soon. Bye bye!